Ciao ragazzi, my name is Anthony. Welcome back on Inter Worldwide. It is a happy-ish sort of day because the news that is coming out is starting to look a lot more positive surrounding the Lookman deal. How do we know it's more positive? Well, I'm here, aren't I? I'm as pessimistic as it gets to a good transfer happening, but it genuinely looks like the acceleration is legitimate. So today, while I've got 15 minutes before I head out for my Saturday with my family, let's have a rundown as to why even pessimistic fans like me are excited, why it looks like we are going all in for Lookman, but more importantly, why Ausilio's words and Ausilio's behavior today finally reflected the words that I have wanted to hear, not only from a director this season, but from Ausilio's mouth since Beppe Marotta took over. And I'll explain more what I mean in a second. Ciao ragazzi, thanks for coming back to Inter Worldwide. Like the video, subscribe if you're new, and let's get into today's news. So let's just address everything right away. Do I think that the Lookman deal is happening? I'm still about 51% on the no side of things, just because it's been so long since Inter has splashed that sort of cash. I'm talking about the 40 to 45 million euros that are reportedly coming out is what is going to be agreed. We are not going to scratch the surface of 50. I don't think for a second we're going to get close. The most we will offer is 40 plus 5 in bonuses. And I think that the will of the player will hold some sort of weight here. Regardless of what it is, today's video wasn't really about the Lookman deal. It was about how finally happy and satisfied I was with seeing Piero Ausilio put his mouth where the microphone is and his balls on the table. Where did you get your balls from, Piero? And how can we purchase some for some of the players in this squad? Now, the reason why I'm not upset that he came out and said that what he needed to say is because, like I've said, it's his job. He is a director. He is in the sporting side of the directive field. These are the sort of things that he should be talking about. Rather than go into the whole interview, social media does the great thing these days where if you just type in the keywords, we'll pretty much know the go straight away. And yeah, let's have a look at it. The quality of today's stream might cut in and out a little bit. If you're noticing some slight improvements, it's because the camera and the microphone have been upgraded. And by next week, when this whole connection is now running on Ethernet and not dodgy Southwest Sydney Wi-Fi, it will be complete. Some of the key things that came out of Ausilio's big mouth, rightfully so. You're allowed to have a big mouth in this situation. It's your job. It's your job. Çalhanoğlu was never on the market and he never asked to leave. Inter doesn't want to lose a champion like him. Well done patching up your senior's words. Well done patching up Beppe Marotta's words. And this is going to lead me into today's first big point and the main point as to why I wanted to make this quick video. For those of you that have watched this channel for a long time know that I'm a very loyal adherent to Beppe Marotta. I was a fan of his before he came to Inter, but I've always maintained the same belief. He's old and he came at Inter for one last dig, one last final dig. He never expected to come to Inter. Beppe Marotta never expected what happened. When he did arrive to Inter, I kept saying something very key. It doesn't need to be a disaster when Beppe Marotta leaves. We need to expect him to leave. He's signed for us to leave soon. He's already stayed longer than I thought he would. By the time he leaves the club, it'll be 8.5, 9 years. 8.5, 9 years of Marotta. I've kept saying this whole time, I need him to translate his experience, his lessons, his words into the Ausilios. Just so we know that the efficiency can go on in more ways than one. Today was the sort of interview that when Ausilio gave it, I go, bro, that is straight out of the Beppe Marotta handbook in 2020 to 2021. 2019 to 2021, when he received the clear instructions from Suning. He knew the bag he was working with, and he projected it to the media like, yo, we're moving like this. Get with it or get left behind. Inter is coming. Inter is here. That was the club. And we cashed in. We made sure to stick to our word. We stopped a 9-year Juventus run with their director, their former director and their former coach. Mava Fangul all across the park. Beppe was always going to leave. He was always going to leave eventually. The guy's going to be 70 soon. So Ausilio comes out of nowhere with his balls today. Says that about Hakan. Brilliant. Let's focus on the main headline. Inter director Ausilio confirms we made a bid for Ademola Lookman and we like him. We have a good relationship with Atalanta, but we won't enter into long negotiations. We have our own project. This is a very simple dissective quote. We are keen on Lookman. We like him. We want to bring him in straight away, but we are not going to roll over and spend 50 million euros on the guy. That's stupid. The offer is good. It's respectable. Take it or leave it. Now, I hope they don't leave it because then we really would be in the pits. However, we've got more good news. Piero Esposito is a strong player and will stay with us. He will do well. 3 boxes out of 3 ticks so far. Nullify the Hakan situation, regardless of whether Fenerbahce or Galatasaray are going to move. Re-establish the fact that we are going for Lookman. It's very real. Everybody knows about it. Atalanta need to pull the finger out of their ass. Piero Esposito, the young striker that you guys cried out to stay, is staying. But it gets better. Not really interested in Carvanale's quotes. Here's another one about Bastoni. Let's see how well I can decipher Italian. Non abbiamo, I can't read it though, ricevuto alcun approccio dal Barcellona per Dumfries, è vero che c'è una clausola rescissoria, ma scadrà presto e noi continueremo ad andare avanti. Sorry for the horrible pronunciation. And in a ballpark, that is that we never wanted to basically sell Dumfries, but we made a renewal for him when the contract was running out so as to continue with the player and not avoid losing him for free. Barcelona are the main key interest in the player. At the moment, I'm more inclined to think Dumfries is staying because these high pressure rumors of the players leaving are dying in the ass as it speaks. So yeah, we'll see. One of the biggest quotes that people were happy about today, though, was this one. We have told Christian Asllani that after 3 years with us, it is time to find a new club and play more. Now, further rumors have come out and said that the club is disgruntled because the player is not entertaining offers outside the country. He wants to stay in Italy. Now, this is a difficult one because at the same time, the player is within his rights to do that. The player is within his rights to go, no, you signed me for a contract. I've set up my life here. I'm going to stay here unless you pay me out. And we can't pay him out. I mean, it'd be great to use him as bait for Atalanta. It would be amazing to use him as bait for Parma. But it's not going to happen. If you could use him for bait as Atalanta or Parma, it would knock 10 to 12 million euros off a Lookman or Leone deal. Not going to happen. However, fans are very, very happy with the cojones on the table from Piero. Piero has said he's got to go. He's got to go. Next positive headline coming from the Balls Deep director today. Inter director Ausilio, Marcus Thuram is not for sale this summer. Absolutely no chance. More high pressure on the Lookman deal. He's saying that we want to buy Lookman and we are not relying on sales, let alone sales in that field of position. More pressure on Atalanta. I like it. Everything that's come out in today's interview has been bang on for me. And even though I'm not here celebrating anything, there's nothing to celebrate. I can at least acknowledge the effective, efficient, proactive, practical mentality that we have. I'm all about that. I'm not about saying stupid things that regress you. Further elaboration on the Hakan situation. There was never any problem with Hakan Çalhanoğlu. He's a strong player who has already given a lot to Inter and will give more. We're counting on a champion like him. We spoke with Gala, but understood that a deal would not be reached. They tried, but nothing more. See, we said this last week on the channel. They offered 10, maybe 12.5 million euros. And we told them, bro, honestly, go and spend that on some luxury kebabs, man, because we cannot sell Hakan Çalhanoğlu for 10 to 12 million euros. You want to come back with an offer really close to 20? We'll sit down. You want to put 20 on the table? We'll talk. You want to offer 25? We're listening. We're listening. But until then, communication to Asllani that he is not a player in the club's plans. We've informed him to find a new club. Kivu's tactics and formation, now he can prepare properly. He didn't have time for the Club World Cup. I smile to myself when I read concerns. Our strongest players have stayed, and we've already brought in 5 from the market. And the media says we should aim for top 4. Got it. All right, this is a part of the interview that I actually did not see this morning. So let's dissect this one a bit more. This is a bit deeper. Our coach's tactics and formation, well, obviously he had no time before. He can prepare properly. I laugh or smile when I read concerns. Our strongest players have stayed, and we've already brought in 5. Enrique, Sucic, Boni. If this guy's counting Piero Esposito as a signing, well, fair play to you. He can't be counting Leone or Lookman just yet. But let's see. That's an interesting one. Comments on Leone, which I did browse through this morning. Giovanni, I'm not entirely sure that we need strengthening in defense. Once again, playing the market. We have 7 players in that department. Yes. What a more accurate statement would be is we need strengthening in defense because 3 of those 7 players in that department are Stefan de Vrij, Francesco Acerbi, and Matteo Damian. We like Leone, of course, but like all players, it's difficult to talk about those from other teams. What do you guys make of Ausilio's comments on Leone? Let me know in the comments. Here we go with Jan Sommer. Sommer to Galatasaray. There was talk of this, but is that an N underneath my cursor? It is, but never directly with us. So we never discussed it. Sommer is our goalkeeper and he will stay. We want to sign Lookman. I can confirm that we've made our intentions clear to Atalanta and we are hoping they consider our offer. Lookman is our top target and we don't want negotiations to drag on. Our goal is to get Kivu his players as soon as possible. Lookman has opened to Inter, but we still need to define things with his club. We have a great relationship with Atalanta and its owners. We want to do this deal correctly and with as much respect as possible. These are the sort of quotes that come out that leave you thinking they're going, well, fuck, we have to get it done. We are getting it done. Sky Sports, Romano, Di Marzio, our director, the club communication project structure, like it's all there. Don't let me down, man. Don't let me wake up tomorrow and see that he's traveling to Spain to Atletico or that Atlanta have closed the door. Like don't let me see that, please. You've gotten us close enough here right now. Ausilio says Davide Fratesi is not for sale. Same with Marcus Thuram. So we can pretty much squash those last-minute bids from the Juve fans who think that they're going to get Fratesi. Although, to be honest, if Juve were to give us 35 million for Fratesi, I'd consider it a donation from an enemy. I really would. The same way I don't want to give him 25 million for Nico Gonzalez. That wouldn't make any sense to me. And that's it. That's pretty much all there is to report on. Ausilio put his balls on the table, confirmed the bid for Lookman, confirmed that Asllani is not in the club's plans, said that he likes Lookman a lot. Yeah, man, I'm starting to get excited about the deal. Finally starting to get excited about the deal. Because we are going to need that injection of quality, flair, techiness, and just unpredictability. How many players last season were unpredictable for us that could get us out of a rut out of nowhere? Barella didn't do it for us. Toro didn't do it for us. Hakan didn't do it for us. Thuram didn't do it for us. A player like Lookman, unfortunately, is something we need. And 40 million is not peanuts. But it's not projectile out of this world value either. I would say 40 million on Lookman in his prime is a good deal. And not only that, it would give a direct message to the fans that the news that you have been hearing about our financial situation drastically improving, that's not bollocks. That's not bullshit. That's real. We are improving on the books. We are improving outside the field. I hate to end negativity, but God forbid we collected one big trophy last season. We'd all still be sitting here shirts off partying. The lines between succeeding and failure at top level are blurred so paper thin, and that they've never been as paper thin as this. As promised, it was a very quick 15 minutes. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you are liking and subscribing to the channel. Make sure you are following Uncle Sharma and all the other Inter content creators. Shout out to Inter Extra as well. A great Twitter account that's just come onto YouTube as well. Make sure you guys are supporting. 5-6 years ago, it was only me and Zil Sharma doing this online. Now we've got outlets everywhere with interjections, interviews, and yeah, it's looking much better from an Inter content creator point of view, and we have needed this for a long time. So please, if there's anything you take away from this, go and hardcore support your Inter content creators online. Okay, thank you very, very much. I'll be back soon. My name is Anthony. Forza Inter Worldwide. Ciao.